The following is a live presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. Back-to-back days? Imagine that! My name is Ron Juckett. Welcome to the program for this 18th day of July 2024. We go back to August 10th, 1988 for this very crucial battle between the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Cincinnati Reds from Riverfront Stadium. After 111 games, to paraphrase Maxine Nightingale, the Dodgers and the Reds are right back to where we all started from. They are, to quote Joe Morgan from the summer of '88, 6-2 and even. With 50 games to go, they are both 64 and 47. We already think that the American League West is not going to go to the Oakland A's. They are 10 out with about 50 to go. It's not impossible, of course, but not very likely. On the other hand, whether it's Minnesota or Kansas City, that remains to be seen. But the A's are in a heck of a lot of trouble in the American League West. And so the National League West, it is purely a two-team race between the Dodgers and the Reds. And as I just said, there are 50 games to go. We'll show you at some point just how they've done against each other. The Mets, I'm pretty sure, are a lock in the National League East, just like they were in real life. They are up 11. The Red Sox lead the American League East. I think it's by 3 or 4. So it's not done and dusted yet, but the Red Sox look very good, which means I'm going to have to play them in the playoffs, and I'm not sure I want to do that. Anyway, back to the Dodgers and the Reds. This is kind of a cherry matchup for you. Not only is it the Dodgers and the Reds, not only are they tied, how you doing? But it'll be Jose Rio and Oral Hershiser. So it's the two aces going this afternoon here at Riverfront. It is a warm night in Cincinnati, 83 degrees and all that. And so with that, it's time for some baseball for you. The Dodgers and the Reds next, as Retro Sports Network presents Major League Replay 1988. This afternoon, live from Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio, it's the Cincinnati Reds and the Los Angeles Dodgers. And today's game is brought to you by DigitalDice.com, the best darn podcast on the web for your sports simulation and replay needs. Find us today on Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, or wherever else fine podcasts are listed. We'll get to that in a second. How you doing, Kent? Nice to have you along. So it is Earl Hershiser, 12-7. I think this is about in real life where he started to go off and just shut teams down. He's got an ERA at 2.79 coming in. 1-0 with a 2.12 ERA against the Reds. Jose Rio making his 14th start of the year, and his third start against the Dodgers, 1-1 with a 3.46 ERA. Again, a warm night here, 83 degrees, the wind's blowing out to the left at 4 miles an hour. And this will be to line up the Dodgers. How you doing, Big Dave? Send out. Steve Sachs leads off at second. Mike Scioscia behind the plate will bat second. Kirk Gibson in left will go third. Pedro Guerrero still with the Dodgers. When do they get, they must get tutored pretty quick. He's at first, and he'll clean up. Mike Marshall in right will bat fifth. John Shelby in center will go sixth. Tracy Woodson at third, batting seventh. Alfredo Griffin at short, batting eighth. And Oral Hershiser on the mound, hitting ninth. Rio about 100 pitches. And that should get you about 7 innings on a good day. He won't be able to go the distance. Rio making his 14th start of the year is 9-3 with a 3.22 ERA. He is kind of at 23 years old in 1988. Like a Swiss Army knife pitcher, he can start and relieve. Fastball at 96 and a standard pitcher. He last pitched on the 6th, which was a 6-1 loss, a start, and not a good one. That's to the Padres. 5 1/3, 97 pitches, 5 hits, 3 runs all earned. He walked 4 and struck out 9. The last time he faced the Dodgers was in L.A. on the 2nd, and they won that game 5-0. He went 6 1/3. So overall, 109 innings for Rio, 95 hits, 42 runs, 39 earned. He's allowed 8 homers. He's walked 38 and struck out 125, which is good for 7th in the National League. The defense behind him, Cal Daniels keeping the home fires burning as a 4 and a 6 in left. Eric Davis a 10 and a 2, good buddy in center. Paul O'Neill a 5 and a 7 in right. And O'Neill's probably the best of the 3 overall. Chris Sabo a 7 at third. Barry Larkin a 7 at short. Jeff Treadway a 6 at second. And Ken Griffey Sr. is a 6 at first. Bo Diaz a 7 and a 6 behind the plate. And Rio is a 4 on the mound with a .968 fielding percentage. Steve Stack steps in on this warm Wednesday night at .288, 3 homers, and 29 RBI. And again, 50 games to go for both teams, and it's spring training all over again. They are dead even. And this one starts with a ground ball right back to Rio, over to Griffey, 1 out. So an apprehensive crowd here in Cincinnati waiting this one. Mike Scioscia batting second, really? .220 overall. He's already matched his home run and RBI titles, 3 homers and 35 RBI. The Dodger wrecking crew is here, Mr. Howard, and the Reds wrecking crew is here, and Mr. John. So please, no fighting. Rio winds and deals, and Scioscia grounds this one to third. Sabo over to Griffey for the out, 2 away. For Kirk Gibson, hitting .286, 22 homers, and 72 RBI. 83 degrees, a beautiful night here in Cincinnati, and the winds are blowing out to left at 4. Gibson draws the 2-out walk. All 4 out of the zone, and Rio lost him high. So here's Guerrero, PD at .320, 6 homers and 33 RBI. Gibson almost a surefire steal of second. Rio throws, and Gibby's back. Stays put, ground ball left side, base hit. So will Gibson go to third? Daniels waits, and they're going to try it. Gibson to third. The throw is going to be close, but not in time. Guerrero moves to second. Was that an error? Yep, Daniels commits the error, and the run scores. So Daniels with a horrible throw that Sabo couldn't find. So Guerrero ends up at third, and the Dodgers have a run in. So it was Daniels had a good play on it. They had the chance, and he just threw it right by Sabo. And by the time that Diaz tracked it down, Guerrero had gone to third. Sabo kind of booted it himself. Let's go Reds, we hear. So here's Mike Marshall hitting .277, 16 homers and 75 RBI. Rio delivers, and Marshall sends this one in a shallow left center. Davis runs in, finds the Schwinn, and slides on the hot turf to make the catch. Hopefully a Bengal hadn't puked on it yet. However, the Dodgers get a run on a hit and an error, and after half an inning, it's the Dodgers 1, the Reds nothing. So as Oral Hershiser takes his warm-up tosses, we'll tell you the Reds lineup. Cal Daniels, who has to atone for his error, leads off in left. Chris Sabo at third will bat second. Barry Larkin will go third at short. Eric Davis cleans up in center. Paul O'Neill in right will bat fifth. Ken Griffey, over from the Reds, will bat sixth and play first. Bo Diaz behind the plate will go seventh. Jeff Treadway at second will bat eighth. And Rio, who's a bit miffed after the top of the first, will bat ninth. Hershiser can go the distance. Hershiser making his 23rd start of the year. He's 30 years old, fastball 87, and a ground ball pitcher. He is 12-7 with a 2.79 ERA. He last pitched 5 days ago. He beat the Astros 6-1, going the distance, 130 pitches, 6 hits, a run. It was earned. He walked 2 and struck out 5. 177 in the third innings for Orel, 139 hits, 68 runs, 55 earned, 11 homers, 51 walks, and 115 strikeouts. And Hershiser, who would win the Cy Young Award in real life, he had a not-so-great April, 3-1 with an earned run average close to 4, had a very good May ERA-wise. He hasn't really pitched terrible by any stretch, but he hasn't been dominant. The defense around him, Kirk Gibson a 5 and a 3 in left, John Shelby 5 and a 5 in center, and Mike Marshall a 2 and a 6 in right. Tracy Woodson a 3 at third, Alfredo Griffin a 7 at short, Steve Sachs a 4 at second, Pedro Guerrero a 3 at first. Mike Scioscia is a 9 behind the plate with a good arm, and Hershiser a 10 on the mound with a .939 fielding percentage. Daniel stepping in at 298, 16 homers, 62 RBI, and again, don't invest in his rookie cards. Pitch to Daniels is a liner in the left center. That's going to go in the gap. Shelby throws it to third, and Daniels is into second standing with his 22nd double of the year. Scioscia has a 6 arm. Yep, you got a couple days. Mr. Gardner's busy on that, and so if you haven't seen this on the Facebook groups or the Discord, what do you think has been the biggest plus that happened in the hobby over the last 5 years, and where do you see it being 5 years from now as we celebrate 5 years of Digital Dice? Chris Sabo at 261, 6 homers, and 53 RBI. Daniels on second. Sabo swings a ground ball to first. Guerrero to the bag, and Sabo is retired. So Daniels moves to third for Barry Larkin, hitting 276, 9 homers, and 38 RBI. The good news for Hershiser is he's got 10 more starts on the year. And remember, he closed in epic fashion. Scotty'd probably be able to tell me when his scoreless inning streak started. Pitch to Larkin is a ground ball over the mound for a base hit. Daniels will score, and it's a tie ball game here at 1. So Larkin has 33 steals on the year. Here's Eric Davis hitting .317, 23 homers, and 87 RBI. They don't throw to first. Davis up the middle. Griffin to Sachs for a 1, but they won't get the Speedy Davis. So 2 out for Paul O'Neill, sitting on a 12-game hitting streak, hitting .267, 12 homers, and 51 RBI. They throw to first for Davis, and Eric is back. And there goes Davis. Scioscia throws down to Griffin, and Eric has his 29th steal of the year. So he brushes off his backside. The go-ahead run in scoring position for O'Neill. Hershiser takes a deep breath, and this is laced down the line and left. Davis is going to score. Gibson with a bad play on it. O'Neill is in the second standing with his 16th double, and the Reds go up 2-1. So O'Neill gets that hitting streak to 13 games. And here's Griffey. Now, these stats are April, like 3 for 5 with a double and 2 RBI since coming over from the Braves. And since the Braves are in dead last in the West, that really is the outhouse to the penthouse here. Pitched from Hershiser. Slow ground ball to Guerrero. He'll underhand it to Hershiser, and that will retire the side. So the Reds get 2 on 3 hits and no errors. And after 1 inning here in Cincinnati, it's the Reds 2, the Dodgers 1. So Shelby, Woodson, and Griffin to face Rio. John at 265, 5 homers, and 35 RBI. Shelby ripped into right for a single. He's going for 2. O'Neill with a good arm, and Shelby's in there with his 17th double. So there has been speed on display from both teams early. And that'll bring up Tracy Woodson, saying the run in the first was earned for Rio. Woodson at 263, 2 homers, and 14 RBI. Yep, forever, Maine. However, how are you? Woodson into center field. Back goes Davis. Eric will make the catch. Shelby should go back and tag. He will. And the throw goes into the infield. So 1 out. The tying run on third for Alfredo Griffin. Hitting 236. No homers and 12 RBI. Rio deals. There's a ground ball to Sabo. The throw to first. Griffin's retired. Shelby didn't go. So 2 out for Oral Hershiser, hitting 186. No homers and 4 RBI. Struck him out, and Rio got him to chase a hard full count fastball to end the inning. The Dodgers get a hit and get him to third base and cannot bring him home. And after an inning and a half here, it's the Reds 2, the Dodgers 1. So Diaz, Treadway, and Rio to face Hershiser here in the second. Bo at 196, 8 homers, and 30 RBI. Into right center, Shelby, 1 out. For Treadway, hitting 245, 2 homers, and 27 RBI. Base hit left center field. He goes the opposite way and will get the 1 out single. So Jose Rio, who's in a position to bunt here, hitting 133. He does have 3 homers, by the way, and 7 RBI. Guerrero and Woodson play for the bunt, and Rio's going to give it to him. It's down. Socha throws to Sachs at first, and it goes on the card 2-4. So 2 out for Daniels, who has singled and scored in the first. Hershiser, 24 for his opening 9, an inning and 2/3 and 4 hits. Into right center, Shelby going way back there, and Daniels has homered. How about that? The Reds have a 4 spot on the board after a 2-run homer from Cal Daniels, his 17th of the season. And Tommy gets out the slim fast in the Dodger dugout. That one caught way too much of the plate. And Daniels with a 2-run shot. And the Reds sitting on a 4-1 lead. So here's Sabo. He's 0 for 1. Hershiser deals. Slow ground ball to Griffin behind the mound. Throws to first. Sabo beat it out. That was trouble the second it left the bat. And it didn't help that it hit the back of the mound. It just slowed it down enough for Griffin to have to stop momentarily and throw to first. So here's Larkin, who has an RBI single. The Dodger fan sitting in that upper deck up there, you see underneath the replay board? I don't have the mouse clicked on, so I can't show you. But if you look underneath the replay board there between the Budweiser and the Winston ads out there in right center, you see a couple people out there? That's the Dodger rooting section. How Scotty got the goats up there, I don't know. Pitch to Larkin. Barry swings. That hits the mound. Griffin has it, throws to Guerrero, and Larkin's retired. So the mound giveth for the Dodgers, and the mound taketh away. Or for the Reds, for that matter. However, the 2-run homer by Cal Daniels on 3 hits and no errors gives the Reds, after 2, a 4-1 lead. So top of the lineup here for the Dodgers in the third. Sachs, Scioscia, and Gibson to face Rio. Rio opening 9 of 26 pitches. 2 innings, 1 earned run, 2 hits, a walk, and a strikeout. And Sachs draws the walk. So Rio has been given the gift of a 3-run lead against the best pitcher in the National League, and you got to take care of it. Scioscia's 0 for 1. Lucky you got your own beer vendor. You drinking some Hootapool, or what did you bring from the West Coast? Pitch to Scioscia. Ball 4, so Rio has walked 2. He snaps the ball back in the glove, and here's Kirk Gibson, who walked his first time up. So the tying run is already at the plate. Rio deals. Fly ball, right center field, but O'Neill will track that down. Scioscia has to go back. Sachs will tag. O'Neill has the best arm of the bunch to direct throw down to third, and he is out. They got him. Paul O'Neill with the throw of the year. So a 7-5 or 9-5 throw. I thought that was going to be cut off. Here it is. And Sabo got the tag down on the top of the shoe. So 2 out for Pedro Guerrero, who's singled. You don't see that very often, a 9-5 double play. Would that be a Dolly Parton? Pitch to Guerrero. Scioscia on first. Larkin's got it. Throws to Treadway for the easy out, and that will do it. So the Dodgers get 2 walks and can't do anything with them. Nothing, no runs, no hits, no errors, and leave on 1 after 3, or 2.5 rather. It's the Reds 4, the Dodgers 1. So Davis, O'Neill, and Griffey to face a steaming Hershiser here in the third. Davis reached on a fielder's choice and is 0 for 1. Struck him out. That's the first for Hershiser. An 0-2 curve. Got him. So here's O'Neill. Paulie had an RBI double. 4-1 Reds. 1 out here in the bottom of the third inning. Fly ball, right center. Shelby will get there. 2 out. So here's Ken Griffey. He's 0 for 1. This is not what the Dodgers envisioned when this game started. Pitch to Griffey. High ground ball to Guerrero, and Patey takes it to the bag himself, and that is a 1-2-3 inning. So after 3, it's the Reds 4, the Dodgers 1. So Marshall, Shelby, and Woodson to face Jose here in the 4th. Marshall's 0 for 1. Fly ball, right field. O'Neill, 1 out. For John Shelby, who has a double. Struck him out. That's 2 for Rio. A 2-2 fastball right down Broadway. So Tracy Woodson is 0 for 1. And Woodson rips this one in the left for a base hit. Daniels waits for it. comes up with it, and Woodson holds with a single. Only the third hit for the Dodgers. 2 out for Alfredo Griffin, who's 0 for 1. Popped up. Left side, Daniels, Larkin, and Sabo converge. And Daniels can't get there. It drops in front of them, and Woodson scampers on to third. So a 2-out bloop single. That's a Walmart single because it's pretty cheap. So that brings up Hershiser with 2 out. He's 0 for 1. He struck out. Rio winds and fires, and they get Hershiser swinging on an 0-2 change. And all that, no runs, 2 hits, and no errors. The Dodgers have left on 5, and after 3.5, it's 4-1 Reds. So here are the standings. The Mets lead the Pirates by 11. In the West, you can't get any closer than a dead heat. And San Diego just kind of lurking back there, a 7.5 back. In the American League East, the Red Sox by 4 over the Tigers and the Jays. Milwaukee 5, the Yankees 5.5. And in the West, Kansas City, we talked about Minnesota, still has the best record in baseball. But the Royals and the Mets have the same record. They're 69-43. And the A's, with 114 games down, are 10 back. The Reds have the best defense in the National League. The Dodgers, the second best offense, and lead the National League in ERA at 3.08. It'll be Diaz, Treadway, and Rio here in the fourth. Bo is 0 for 1. Base hit left field. Gibson quickly throws it in. And that's the 7th hit for the Reds. Treadway singled his first time up and scored. Popped up. Center field, Shelby, 1 out. For Rio, I don't think you bunt here. I think you swing. They play for the bunt. Rio hit a sacrifice his first time up. Going to swing away. Hits a ground ball to Griffin. They might get 2 here. Nope. They're going to go for the easy out at first, and Rio is retired. So Diaz goes to second as Daniels, who homered in his last at-bat, comes up. He has doubled and homered today. Hershiser, 18 batters, 57 pitches, 3 2/3, 7 hits, the home run to Daniels, and has only struck out 1. Got him! A 2-2 fastball on the inside corner, and that'll do. So, Reds do not score. No runs, a hit, and no errors. We go to the 5th here at Riverfront Stadium. It's the Reds 4, the Dodgers 1. So it'll be the top of the lineup, Sachs, Socha, and Gibson to face Rio. 18 batters, 68 pitches, 4 innings. The Dodgers know they're going to get into the Reds' pen. 4 hits, 3 walks, and 3 strikeouts, and the run is earned. Sachs is 0 for 1 with a walk. And Stevie, it's a ground ball to Treadway behind the bag at second, over to Griffey, 1 out. For Socha, who's 0 for 1 with a walk. Rio winds and fires. Little ground ball to Griffey, takes it to the bag himself, 2 out. For Kirk Gibson, who has walked and scored in the first, he's 0 for 1. And Gibson draws the 2-out walk. So Rio went way high on a 3-1, and Diaz had to get out of his crouch to get it. So Gibby, who has stolen 25, is looking at second like a T-bone steak. He's just drooling. The throw back to first, and Gibson is back. And Gibson realizes he lives in Southern California now and wants an avocado instead. Pitch to Guerrero. Here's a ground ball to Griffey. He'll take it to the bag himself, and that will retire the side. Halfway home on a drop-dead gorgeous day in Burlington, Vermont. It is the Reds 4, the Dodgers 1. The one thing I don't have on YouTube that I did on Twitch is the countdown for when the ad ends. So I'm assuming it's over. And if you joined us late, it's 4-1 Reds. These two teams are dead even. 4 runs, 7 hits, an error for Cincinnati. 1 run, 4 hits, and no errors for the Dodgers. Dodgers scored first, a Pedro Guerrero single to score Kirk Gibson to make it 1-0. Then the Reds took the lead in the first. A Barry Larkin single to score Cal Daniels tied the ball game. And then Paul O'Neill doubled home Davis to make it 2-1. And O'Neill extended his hitting streak to 13 right off the bat. In the second, Cal Daniels hit a 2-run blast to right center to make it 4-1. So Oral Hershiser, a 7-hitter through 4. All 4 runs are earned, and he's struck out 2. Jose Rio has allowed 4 hits through 5. Has walked 4 and struck out 3. So Sabo, Larkin, and Davis to face Hershiser here in the 5th. Chris is 1 for 2 with a single. There's a base hit in the left field. Gibson will grab it. Sabo takes a long turn around first and heads back. And we'll see if Hershiser bothers to throw over to first. Larkin is 1 for 2. Barry has a single and an RBI. Hershiser does throw to first. And Sabo's back. Larkin can hit and run. Let's do that. Runner goes. Ground ball to short. So Sabo will take second. And Larkin is retired. No double play. As Sabo goes into second easily. So here is Eric Davis. Eric is 0 for 2. He has scored, struck out, and stole the base. You would think, and there's probably an analytical reason why it doesn't make sense, that if you have a hitter that can make contact with the ball, and I understand that it's a whole different game to that the hit and run should be a valid play. Because at worst, you might swipe the bag. But even if you hit a ground ball, chances are you're not going to be hitting into a double play. And you're keeping an inning alive. You'd think, manufacturing runs, especially in this era of very dominant pitching. I'm talking today, not 1988. You do what you can. Pitch to Davis. Eric strikes out. Hershiser got him on an 0-2 fastball looking. So 2 out for O'Neill, who is 1 for 2. He has doubled and drove home 1 of the Reds' runs. Sabo goes, lace to right. Marshall retires to side. No runs, a hit, and no errors. We go to the 6th here at Riverfront. The Reds 4, the Dodgers 1. Mike Marshall, John Shelby, and Tracy Woodson to face Rio in what is probably his last inning. We're still trying to figure out if Scotty has his own beer vendor, if it's a West Coast beer, if it's something a little more spicy that Marge Schott may not appreciate, or if it's just whatever they're serving at the stadium. Marshall is 0 for 2. Struck him out. That's 4 for Rio. A 2-2 fastball in there at the knees. 1 out. for John Shelby. John is 1 for 2. He has doubled and struck out. Got him. A good morning and a good afternoon. A 1-2 changeup, and there's 2 out for Woodson, who is 1 for 2. So Rio, who is looking for a win number 10, has looked mighty sharp in this one. He winds and fires. Struck out the side. Good night. A full count fastball swung on and missed. He pumps his fist. He's probably done. And after 5.5, it's 4-1 Reds. Yeah, Scotty, I would think so. The high strikeout rate discourages hit and runs. But you should be able to, you're professionals. There should be a defensive swing. And it is such a pitcher's error right now. Ken Griffey is 0 for 2. Hershiser starts the 6th. A slow ground ball over the mound. Sachs has it. Throws to Guerrero. 1 out. Stealing is way up. These things go back and forth into balance. 20 years ago, there was a bunch of people who were all upset over the tremendous amount of offense in Major League Baseball, and now we've kind of swung back to the pitching is too strong. Pitch to Diaz. There's a high fly ball to left. Gibson will make the catch, 2 out. And that'll bring up Treadway, who is 1 for 2. He is singled and scored. So Hershiser cruising right along here in the 6th. And he walks Treadway, and that's not what the Dodgers wanted. They wanted to force a decision here on Rio in the 7th, whether to pitch him. But with him batting, he's a righty, they can play who can hit a righty. And the answer is the toaster Ron Oster. As a pinch hitter, 500 with an RBI. Overall, 250 and 6 RBI. So Rio's day is done. He went 6. Allowed 4 hits. To Sachs. To Guerrero. And that'll do it. So after 6, the Reds do not score. And they waste the walk. But they still lead it 4-1. So too early for Franco. So it'll be Randy St. Clair. Randy, who wasn't here on Pitcher Day, also from Glens Falls, New York. 28 years old, fastball at 88, an extreme fly ball pitcher. Making his 6th appearance. He has no record and an earned run average of 3.5 or 352. How you doing, Gus? Yep, Gabe Concepcion was still playing at 88. When you have an old teammate as a manager, you stick around. St. Clair has faced the first time facing the Dodgers. He faced the Padres his last 3 times out. He went 2 innings on to 6, so 3 days rest, and a 6-1 loss to San Diego. 2 innings, 38 pitches, a hit, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. 7 2/3. A native Adirondacker. Yep. 6 hits, 3 runs, all earned. So am I. I think I told you that. A home run, that came against the Padres. He walked 2 and struck out 4. Griffin 1 for 2. He has singled in this one. Right up the box, Larkin in front of the bag. Throws to Griffey, 1 out. I did not know that, Dave, about being a native. Yeah, I'm born in Glens Falls. Here's Hershiser. Let's see what they do with him. He has struck out twice. Pitch count-wise, he's good. He stays in the game. Into center field. Davis running in. 2 out. I'm Ron, by the way. I'm not Dave. Just saying. Here's Steve Sachs. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. Mr. Gardner is actually, at the moment, calling the Canadian National Ball Hockey Championships. Not on YouTube. Called 2 games yesterday, 2 games today, games tomorrow, and then that's all right. Pitch to Sachs, who's 0 for 2. Steve hits this one into left field for a hit. Dave's from Mass. I'm from New York, originally. Mike Scioscia, I think they buried it in Anaheim, didn't he? He's 0 for 2 with a walk. Only the 5th hit for the Dodgers. The goats up there in right center underneath the replay board are trying to find the rally monkey that the Angels are going to use at some point. Pitch to Scioscia. In the left center, Davis makes the catch, and that'll do it. So after it's stretch time, 4-1 Reds. So let's see if this will pay off for the Dodgers not pinch hitting Hershiser. You'd think it would work. Cal Daniels has doubled, homered, and struck out. He's 2 for 3. Hershiser, 27 batters deep, 97 pitches. 6 innings, 8 hits, a homer, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. Randy St. Clair, Dave LaPointe, Jim Dugan, and me. Oh, my Mount Marcy Rushmore. The only thing that would make Burlington better as far as that's concerned is if we had Stewarts here. Do yourself a favor. We're Stewarts. We're closer to you. Pitch to Daniels. There's a ground ball to Sachs over to Guerrero, 1 out. For Chris Sabo. Chris is 2 for 3. He has singled twice. You look at the logs for these teams. This is the 11th meeting of the year between the Dodgers and the Reds, and the Dodgers have won 7 of 10. Cincinnati won last night in 10 innings, 4-3. They played 3 here in the middle or in late June, and the Dodgers had some symmetry. They won all 3, 5-3, 5-4, and 5-2. Here's Sabo. He's 2 for 3. He is singled twice. Scotty loves to sit high in the bleachers. Give me a cold Heffy. Okay. Pitch to Sabo. Popped up. Scioscia doffs the mask to the screen. He should be able to get there. He does not. And just like Bob Uecker, they come and escort Scotty down, and it must be in the front row. 2 out, or 1 out, a 2-strike count. Hershiser deals. Sabo slaps this one to Sachs over to first for the out. Wait, what's the Vermont version of Stewie's? Well, in southern Vermont, you got Stewie's. The town I grew up in, Poltley, has one. Rutland's got one. I'm sure Bennington's got one. Fairhaven has one. Barry Larkin is 1 for 3, by the way, with a single and an RBI. There's a thing called Maple Fields up here, or Simons, and Cumberland Farms, but nothing like Stewie's. Nothing at all. Yeah, but not in Burlington. Yeah, Maple Fields over in Saranac Lake. Yeah, it's just not the same. You don't even have a Circle K or a 7-Eleven. Pitch to Larkin. Barry swings. That's into left center. Shelby moving over will make the catch, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, and no errors. We go to the 8th here at Riverfront, 4-1 Reds. So Gibby, Guerrero, and Marshall to face St. Clair here in the 8th. And to talk about for the rest of the country, what makes Stewart's so special, or Stewie's, is they make their own ice cream. And so when I was a kid and lived in that area of the country, you could go make your own sundaes, and one day, a couple times a month, maybe it was a 99-cent make your own sundae. It is as legendary to upstate New York as Wawa's is to the Delaware Valley, if John's still awake. I mean, they really are that highly regarded. As we lose all sorts of viewers talking about convenience stores. Gibby has walked twice and scored. He's 0 for 1. He lines this to right, and O'Neill 1 out. Guerrero 1 for 3 with a single. And Franklin Stubbs will pinch it. No, he won't. Why would you pull him? Popped up. That's why. I overruled Tommy. Guerrero pops it up, and Diaz is there. 2 out. For Mike Marshall. The batting average was .324. I think they were going for that defensive replacement. And Mickey Hatcher. Okay. Yeah, 405. Hatcher. As a pinch hitter, 250 and 9 RBI. Overall, 307, a homer, and 24 RBI. St. Clair winds and deals. Hatcher rips this one in the left center for a base hit. Sabo with a bad jump and a 2-out single. Only the 6th hit for the Dodgers. And that'll bring up John Shelby, maybe, who was 1 for 3 with a double and 2 strikeouts. Diaz says, just get this out, and we're in good shape. St. Clair winds and deals. Slow chopper to Larkin. Has to hurry over to Griffey, and Shelby is safe. So an infield hit, a 2-out single, and Woodson is the tying run. Tracy is 1 for 3 with a K. St. Clair delivers into center field. Back goes Davis, and the Reds get out of it. No runs, 2 hits, and no errors. And after 7.5, it's the Reds 4, the Dodgers 1. So Davis, O'Neill, and Griffey to face Hershiser here in the 8th. Mickey Hatcher is a 5 and a 9 in right. Davis has struck out twice. He's 0 for 3. He has scored and stole his 29th base. Base hit left center field. So Davis will reach. Here's O'Neill. Paulie 1 for 3. A double and an RBI. See if Hershiser throws over. Davis again staring at second base. Hershiser throws to first, and Davis is back and will quietly wait. Now to O'Neill. Walked him. For Ken Griffey, who is 0 for 3. So Davis on second, O'Neill on first, and nobody out. 4-1 Reds. Sosha goes out to calm down Hershiser. Oral nods and deals. Griffey, base hit left field. Davis will round third. Gibson does not have a great arm. So here comes the play at the plate. Gibson throws. Here's the throw. It's going to be close. They got him. Oh, what a big play by Kirk Gibson. An absolute bullet, and Sosha tagged him and held on to it. So 1 out, on the 7-2. Here's Diaz. Bo is 1 for 3. Hershiser just with a little smirk on his face. O'Neill on second, Griffey on first. Pitch to Diaz. Bo hits a ground ball to third. Woodson to Sachs for 1, and Diaz is going to reach as the throw is late. So 2 out, runners on the corners for Jeff Treadway, who is 1 for 2. Jeff has walked, singled, and scored. Treadway into right for a single, and the Reds get a big insurance run. Diaz gets the Yugo motor going. He's trying for third. Hatcher has a good arm. Diaz is huffing and puffing, and it's going to be close over there, but he's safe. So they'll go back to the bench now and bring in Nick Osaski. Osaski is a pinch hitter at 100. That must mean 1 for 10. Overall, 259, 15 homers, and 54 RBI. Reds 5, Dodgers 1. Treadway on first, Diaz on third. Hershiser ends his day with a strikeout. However, the Reds get a big one on 3 hits and no errors. And we go to the 9th here at Riverfront. It's the Reds 5, the Dodgers 1. It'll be John Franco. And they will double switch. Osaski goes into first. He's a 4. Not a save situation, but you want to use him. You haven't used him in 5 days. Get him in there. Franco is 1-3 with a 1.62 ERA. This is his 42nd appearance. He's made 18 saves out of 21 chances. He's 28. Fastball at 87. And keeps the ball on the ground. He hasn't pitched in 10 days. My goodness. In a 6-5 loss to the Padres on July 31st, 2/3 of an inning, 7 pitches and a strikeout. So he is certainly due to pitch. 44 1/3 innings, 34 hits, 8 runs, all earned. A homer, he's walked 12 and struck out 30. So Griffin 1 for 3, pinch hitter and Sachs for the Dodgers here in the 9th. They need 4 to tie and 5 to go ahead. Griffin is going to get lifted for Rick Dempsey. Dempsey, a 167 pinch hitter. Overall, 255, 2 homers, and 10 RBI. To third, Sabo. To Osaski, 1 out. Oral Hershiser will not hit here. I'd imagine not. He struck out twice. Mike Davis will. Davis as a pinch hitter, 207 and 4 RBI. Overall, 216, no homers, and 19 RBI. Franco deals. Ground ball foul, first base side, flipped up to someone from Covington, and it's a 1-2 count. So the Reds, unless something strange happens in the next couple minutes, are going to be in first place in the National League West at 65 and 47. Pitch to Davis. Popped up. Treadway. Waits. Has it. 2 out. Last chance saloon is Steve Sachs. He is 1 for 3 with a walk. So Franco trying to get the last out here to put the Reds into first by themselves. He winds and deals. Slow ground ball to Osaski, over to Franco, and the Reds are in first. A 5-1 win that in the end was rather easy. So 2 hours and 53 fake minutes for this one. The Reds go to 65 and 47. 5 runs, 11 hits, an error, and they left on 7. The Dodgers fall to 64 and 48. 1 run. Dodgers need a guy like John Tudor for the stretch run. 1 run, 7 hits, and no errors. And they leave on 9. Rio gets the win. He goes to 10 and 3. 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, 4 walks, and 6 strikeouts. St. Clair gets the hold. 2 innings, 3 hits, and Franco. I can't see. This is a weird thing about the AI. Franco should never be 10 days without pitching. He went in a clean inning. Hershiser goes the distance. He falls to 12 and 8. Did not have a good outing. 8 innings, 11 hits, 5 runs, all earned. The homer to Daniels, who's your digital advice MVP. He walked 2 and struck out 4. The rest of this Wednesday in baseball. On this 10th of August, the Mets shut out the Cubs 7-0. Ron Darling goes to 10 and 6. Greg Maddux falls to 10 and 10. Darryl Strawberry hits his 28th of the year. 1 for 2 and strikes out 3. The A's, their chances dwindling by the day. The White Sox beat them 8-5. Rosenberg goes to 1 and 2. Gene Nelson falls to 3 and 5. Dan Pasqua 2 for 5 is 15th. Speaking of Yankees, they beat the Blue Jays 4-3. Rick Rhoden goes to 9 and 6. Jimmy Key falls to 1 and 5. Lee Guterman picks up his 2nd save. Phillies beat the Cardinals 3-2. Don Carmen, not quite all by himself, I bet, goes to 5 and 9. John Tudor goes to 9 and 7. Head to Los Angeles soon. Ricky Jordan 1 for 2, hits his 3rd and a walk. San Diego beats Atlanta 1-0. Lance McCullers 3 and 7. Jimenez 0 and 2. Mark Davis picks up his 21st save. Mets get help from the Expos. They beat the Pirates 4-2. Denny Martinez 11 and 10. Bob Walk 7 and 11. Oh, thank heaven. Speaking of convenience stores, Nelson Santavina, the backup catcher for Montreal, hits his 9th, 2 for 4 and 2 RBI. In 10 innings, the Giants beat the Astros 4-3. Lefferts 3 and 4. Dave Smith falls to 3 and 5. Bob Melvin hits his 8th. He's 2 for 3. Rangers beat the Tigers 4-3 in Arlington. Paul Kilgus goes to 6 and 9. Jack Morris falls to 10 and 12. Cecil Espy 3 for 4, a double and a stolen base. The Twins lose. Cleveland beats them 5-3. Nichols 1 and 1. Frank Viola falls to 14 and 7. Joe Carter touched them all for the 18th time. He drives in 4, goes 3 for 5. Milwaukee 3, Boston 2. Teddy Higuera 12 and 7. Mike Smithson 6 and 5. Paul Molitor 3 for 4, his 10th, and drives in 2. Kansas City doubles up Baltimore 12-6. Charlie Leibrandt 10 and 9. Bautista 3 and 10. Bo Jackson 3 for 4, hits his 18th and drives in 3. And last but not least, California beats Seattle 3-1. Kurt Frazier 6 and 9. Scott Bankhead 9 and 3. Brian Harvey picks up his 12th save. That'll do it. We'll be with you hopefully Monday for a baseball hockey split doubleheader. Games on this channel: Toronto and Kansas City. The Royals, by the way, have cut the Twins' lead to 3, and Toronto is 4 back of Boston. So that is the Monday scheduled game. Wednesday, we'll have the Red Sox and the Tigers. Boddicker versus Robinson. And if we want to look ahead to the 17th, a week from Thursday. Oh, we got to pick a game here. Let's see. Let's see if something jumps out at me. There's nothing that screams, pick me, pick me. I think we're going to go at Minnesota and Detroit. So that'll do it. I'm Ron Juckett. We will see you. John Tudor makes his first start, by the way, for the Dodgers. We'll see you soon. Until then, have yourself a great day. So long, everybody.